You got the raise. Nice. You smiled. Maybe you even opened the banking app twice just to feel it again. Then the month kept moving, the bills kept biting, and somehow that finally money dissolved into the same old pressure wearing better shoes? That should bother you. A lot. Because if more money keeps entering your life and your stress refuses to leave, then the problem is no longer just income. It is behavior. It is drift. It is the silent little machine that grabs every improvement and turns it into fresh obligation before you can turn it into freedom. And that machine is not abstract. It lives in your habits, your reflexes, your late-night justifications, your tired little rewards, your "I work hard, so I deserve this" speeches, your "it's only a little more" lies, your "I'll cut back later" fantasy. No, later never comes for people who keep decorating the same trap. Stop. Stay with me. Because in this video, I'm going to show you how smart people earn more, look better, and still quietly sell off the next 10, 20, even 30 years of their life, one monthly payment at a time. And the ugliest part? Most of them think they're winning while it's happening. Part 1. The raise that disappeared in plain sight. Alex was 32. Good job, good brain, good ambitions. The kind of guy who looked like he had things under control because he knew the right words and had the right energy and always sounded like he was building. Then the raise came. $800 extra a month. Not life-changing billionaire money, but definitely enough to matter. Enough to create options. Enough to build breathing room. Enough to change direction if handled with even a little discipline. And for about 48 hours, Alex really believed that was what was about to happen. Then real life walked in, wearing excuses. The apartment? Upgrade. He was tired of hearing his neighbors. The car? Upgrade. He was tired of feeling behind. The groceries? Upgrade. He was tired of eating like a student. The weekends? Upgrade. He was tired of grinding without proof. The delivery? More frequent? The subscriptions? Why not? The random friction of life? I can afford convenience now. Do you hear it? That tone? That soft, reasonable, adult-sounding self-betrayal? That is how lifestyle creep talks. Not like a villain, like a reward. That is why people miss it. 3 months later, his life looked better from the sidewalk. Cleaner building, better car, better takeout, better furniture, better photos. But his internal world? Same old pressure, same account anxiety, same end-of-month chest tightness, same weird hesitation every time a new expense showed up, same private math at awkward hours. More polish, same panic. That is the sentence. More polish, same panic. Say it again. More polish, same panic. Now let's make the numbers hurt. $800 a month is $9,600 a year. Over 5 years, that is $48,000. Over 10 years, $96,000 before investment growth. Before options, before flexibility, before compounding turns discipline into power. That money could have become a debt funeral, an emergency fortress, a business runway, a leave this job fund, a future kids cushion, a year of oxygen. Instead, it became a prettier maintenance schedule. And here's the punch. Alex did not waste the money in a dramatic way. He translated it into lifestyle before he translated it into security. That is the whole disease. Most people do not lose financial progress because they are reckless idiots. They lose it because they are emotionally obedient to comfort the second their income improves. Be honest. When more money hits your account, who gets to touch it first? Your future? Or your cravings? That answer tells you almost everything. Part 2. The trap that looks like maturity. Mr. Green was 56, respected, polished, competent, and exactly the kind of person everybody assumes is financially solid. He had the look, calm voice, good clothes, clean house, promotion history, reliable routines, no messy public mistakes. But financial fragility does not always look sloppy. Sometimes it wears perfume. He never made one giant stupid purchase. That would have been easier to catch, easier to judge, easier to stop. No, his problem was more refined than that. Better wine, better skincare, better gifts, better chairs, better bedding, better groceries, better weekends, better home decor, better everything. Tiny, tasteful upgrades stacked on top of each other until his life developed expensive taste and a monthly appetite he could no longer ignore. This is why lifestyle creep is lethal. It hides inside the word better. Better sounds wise. Better sounds deserved. Better sounds harmless. Better can bankrupt your future slowly enough that you mistake it for adulthood. That is not a joke. Now zoom out. 5 subscriptions at $20 each. $100 a month. Upgraded phone plan. Another $40. Better car and insurance. Maybe another $150 or $200. Bigger place. Bigger utilities. More convenience, because now the job is demanding enough to justify it. Suddenly, you are not dealing with little upgrades. You are dealing with a whole ecosystem of recurring costs feeding on each other. That's the part people miss. Expenses breed expenses. Bigger house, bigger utility bill, nicer car, higher insurance, higher maintenance, higher expectations, new social circle, new spending norms. One upgrade often drags 3 more through the door behind it. $400 a month in extra lifestyle cost is $24,000 over 5 years. $700 a month is $42,000 over 5 years. $1,000 a month is $60,000 over 5 years, and that is before investment growth, before the missed compounding, before the chance to build a reserve so thick that life stops feeling like a hostage negotiation. You know what is wild? People will fight harder to defend these upgrades than they ever fought to build actual security. Because security is quiet. Upgrades are visible. Security feels boring until the day life turns violent. Then boring starts looking beautiful. Part 3. The house that looked successful and felt terrified. The Howard family had the image people chase. 2 incomes, nice neighborhood, good schools, family photos with coordinated smiles, decent cars, holidays that looked normal from the outside. Nothing about them screamed crisis. That was the danger. Their problem was not visible disaster. Their problem was invisible fragility. One bad break. That was it. One layoff, one medical bill, one legal issue, one car repair chain, one parent needing time off, one insurance mess, one interruption. That was all it would take to put the whole machine under stress. And this is where people get confused. They think fear belongs to low earners. Not always. Fear often belongs to high commitments. You can make a lot and still live in a tiny emotional margin if every dollar already has a job, and every job is loud. The outside world sees income. The nervous system feels obligation. That line matters. The outside world sees income. The nervous system feels obligation. So let's go bigger. Suppose a household gradually layers in $1,000 a month of recurring upgraded life costs. Better mortgage, better cars, better food, better vacations, better everything. That is $12,000 a year. Over 30 years, that is $360,000 before compounding. With compounding, depending on returns, the missed wealth can grow into a number big enough to change when you retire, how you retire, and whether you retire with dignity or resentment. And spare me the, well, you should still enjoy life objection. Of course you should. That is not the point. The point is sequence. Protection first, pleasure second. Most people reverse it. Then spend decades paying for the privilege. Think about what $360,000 really means. It can mean your children start adulthood with help instead of apology. It can mean a parent gets care without the whole family detonating financially. It can mean a divorce is survivable, a layoff is survivable, a health issue is survivable. That money is not just money. It is shock absorption for human life. Without shock absorption, every inconvenience becomes drama. Every surprise becomes debt. Every delay becomes panic. Every decision gets made under pressure. That is not living. That is financial weather exposure. Part 4. The system is training you to spend before you think. Here is the bigger problem. You're not weak because you feel the pull to upgrade. You are trained. Modern consumer systems are built to capture your emotional momentum before your reasoning catches up. That is why, the minute you earn more, the world is already waiting with suggestions. Better neighborhood, better car, better wardrobe, better mattress, better skincare, better phone, better self. That last one is the hook. They are not selling a product. They are selling emotional correction. You feel behind? Buy. You feel tired? Buy. You feel under-rewarded? Buy. You feel invisible? Buy. You feel like your hard work should look like something? Buy. This is not random. Decades of advertising evolved from selling usefulness to selling identity. In earlier generations, many households were trained to ask, can we truly carry this without risking the family? Now the question is often, can the monthly payment fit? Those are not remotely the same. One asks whether the purchase strengthens the household. The other asks whether the household can be squeezed a little harder without screaming. And yes, different countries dress this up differently. In some places, consumer credit and status signaling are deeply normalized, especially in urban middle-class life. In others, there is still stronger cultural pride around buffers, cash reserves, repair, delayed gratification, and visible restraint. Not because those people are joyless. Because they understand a boring truth modern culture hates. Safety is sexy only after disaster. Short sentence. Safety is sexy only after disaster. Before disaster, it looks plain. That is why people underinvest in it. Older generations often repaired more, waited longer, and upgraded slower not because they were saints, but because many of them had direct contact with scarcity, instability, recession, or family systems where one bad choice could echo for years. Today, frictionless payment systems remove pain from spending in the moment, which means you have to add that pain back on purpose with rules, barriers, and deliberate pauses. Tap to pay is convenient. It is also dangerous if your psychology is undisciplined. So no, this is not just about budgeting. It is about sovereignty. Do you run your money? Or does the environment run you? If your self-worth gets shaky, the market will happily invoice it. Remember that. Part 5. The 5 lies smart adults repeat. Lie 1. I deserve this. Maybe you do. That is not the question. The question is, do you want the long-term obligation attached to it? Deserve is emotional. Carry is structural. Confuse them, and you will spend years rewarding yourself into pressure. Lie 2. It's just a small increase. That sentence ruins futures. Small recurring increases are exactly how people anesthetize themselves into larger traps. $50 here, $80 there, $100 because it's better quality. Then suddenly the total monthly appetite is enormous and nobody remembers where it came from. Lie 3. I can always cut back later. No, not cleanly. Standards harden fast. The upgraded apartment becomes normal. The nicer car becomes identity. The premium grocery bill becomes healthy living. The expensive habits stop feeling optional. That is what adaptation does. It quietly turns yesterday's luxury into today's baseline. Lie 4. I make too much to still feel stressed. Income does not kill stress. Margin kills stress. Write that down somewhere in your head. Income does not kill stress. Margin kills stress. Lie 5. Everybody lives like this. No. Everybody performs like this. Huge difference. There are people posting polished lives while privately juggling balances, rotating anxiety, and praying their next expense waits politely. Do not confuse public performance with private stability. Jasmine did exactly that. Better job, better peers, better salary, new social expectations, better gym, better apartment, better beauty spend, better dining habits, better weekend norms. $400 a month vanished into professional lifestyle alignment before she even named the process. Over 5 years, $24,000 gone. Add compounding and the real cost grows teeth. That money could have funded a pivot, a down payment, fertility treatment, therapy, debt freedom, time off, or simply the right not to panic every time life got expensive. That is the core truth. The price of lifestyle creep is not the stuff. It is the options you kill to keep the stuff. That line should hit hard. If it doesn't, read it again. Part 6. The math you can feel in your bones. Let's stop talking like accountants and start talking like humans. Scenario 1. $300 a month in extra recurring lifestyle costs. That is $18,000 over 5 years. What is $18,000? Maybe it is the emergency fund that keeps a job loss from turning into a family-level crisis. Maybe it is the money that lets you move away from a toxic environment. Maybe it is the difference between taking high-interest debt and avoiding it. Maybe it is the year you buy back from panic. Scenario 2. $600 a month. $72,000 over 10 years before growth. $72,000, not abstract. That is a strategic resource. That is adulthood support. That is power. Scenario 3. A couple adds $1,000 a month in recurring upgrades and keeps it going for 30 years. $360,000 before compounding. Potentially far, far more in missed wealth when growth is included. That kind of gap can become the difference between work is optional now and I have no choice but to keep going. Scenario 4. Think in labor hours. If you clear $30 an hour after tax and your upgraded life needs $800 extra a month, that is roughly 27 hours of your life every month assigned to maintaining nicer costs. More than 3 full workdays, every month, every year. For what? To preserve an image, to avoid feeling behind, to keep feeding standards you barely consciously selected? That is not small. That is a future draft notice. More brutally, every recurring expense hires your future labor, every single one. Some hires are worth it. Some are parasites. Your job is to know the difference before the contract gets signed. Now imagine labeling your bills in time instead of money. Car upgrade, 9 extra hours. Bigger place, 15 extra hours. Convenience cluster, 7 extra hours. Status spending, 12 extra hours. Stack enough of those, and your calendar stops belonging to you. This is why "it's only a little more" is such a dangerous sentence. Little more repeated enough becomes years more. Years more at work. Years more under pressure. Years more postponing the life you said you were building. Stop. Really stop. How many years have your upgrades already taken from you? Don't rush past that. Part 7. The Identity Crisis. Hiding in your cart. Here's the psychological part most people avoid because it is messier than math. Many purchases are not about the object. They are about the identity attached to the object. You are not buying a better couch. You are buying proof that you are no longer the person who used to struggle. You are not buying the better car. You are buying evidence. You are not buying premium groceries. You are buying a feeling of arriving. That is why financial advice often bounces off people. It argues with the purchase while ignoring the emotional job the purchase was hired to do. Jordan was a nurse, burned out, useful to everybody, under-restored herself. She spent on delivery, comfort, beauty, and little home luxuries, not because she was shallow, but because she was depleted. Her spending was a recovery substitute. Once she saw that, everything changed. Not overnight, but honestly. She created cheaper rituals that actually restored her, prepared comfort food, set a guilt-free weekly amount, deleted shopping triggers, built decompression on purpose. And suddenly the spending pressure began to drop because the real need was finally being addressed. That is the move. Name the real thing. I am not buying dinner. I am buying relief. I am not buying this watch. I am buying proof. I am not upgrading my apartment. I am buying a story about who I am now. That kind of honesty gives you leverage. Without it, your budget is just a fight against symptoms. With it, your budget becomes a map. And here's the part nobody likes hearing. Some of your spending exists because you are trying to medicate emotional states with recurring costs. Loneliness, exhaustion, comparison, under-recognition, boredom, reward hunger. If that's true, the answer is not just be stricter. The answer is to build replacements so your money stops carrying emotional jobs it was never supposed to carry forever. Ugly truth is useful. Beautiful denial is expensive. Choose wisely. Part 8. The Counterattack. Enough diagnosis. Here's the blueprint. Step 1. Freeze your lifestyle for 90 days after any raise, bonus, or increase in income. No immediate upgrades. No symbolic reward disguised as a permanent bill. Let the money arrive. Let your emotions cool down. Then decide. Step 2. Calculate the real net increase. The actual amount hitting your account after taxes. People love spending gross and living net. That habit needs to die. Step 3. Automate the first move. At least half of the increase should disappear into a future protecting bucket before you touch it. Emergency fund? Debt payoff? Investing? House fund? Whatever matters most. Automation beats motivation. Every time. Step 4. Create a runway number. If income stopped today, how many months could your current life survive without immediate panic? Track it monthly. Guard it aggressively. That number tells the truth your salary can hide. Step 5. Interrogate every recurring payment. Does this meaningfully improve health, time, energy, relationships, or genuine quality of life? Or is it just polished ego support? If it's the second one, be ruthless. Step 6. Build a raise formula before the next raise arrives. Example: 50% to wealth, 20% to cash reserves, 20% to strategic goals or debt, 10% to fun. Deliberate fun, not recurring identity rent. Step 7. Keep one sentence visible. I can afford it, but I do not want the obligation. That sentence will save you from a lot of attractive stupidity. Step 8. Track drift monthly. Groceries, transport, dining, convenience, subscription creep, social spending, lifestyle maintenance. Drift thrives in darkness. Attention makes it nervous. Step 9. Upgrade only one category at a time after security has already grown. Sequence matters. If your buffer didn't rise, you didn't get richer. You got more expensive. There's your line. If your buffer didn't rise, you didn't get richer. You got more expensive. Part 9. What strength looks like. When nobody is clapping. Real wealth is not loud. It is durable. It looks like sleeping through the night because 6 months of expenses are covered. It looks like being able to say no. No to a manipulative boss. No to desperate overtime. No to taking the first ugly option because you have no runway. It looks like being hard to scare. Marco understood this early. He doubled his income and kept his lifestyle almost embarrassingly steady compared to the people around him. Old car longer, smaller upgrades, fewer signals, more reserves. People called him cheap. Fine. Then came the layoff. And suddenly, the people with the shiny proof of success were the first ones spiraling. Marco wasn't invincible. He was prepared. That is all. And preparation looks boring until it becomes heroic at exactly the moment everyone else is exposed. Remember this contrast. One person gets applause now and pressure later. Another gets questioned now and freedom later. Choose your pain. Because there is always pain, either the pain of restraint or the pain of obligation, either the pain of saying not yet, or the pain of needing yes from every future paycheck. Real strength is not looking wealthy. It is building a life that does not collapse when reality gets mean. That life may look smaller on the outside for a while. Good. Let it. Underestimation is cheap. Fragility is expensive. Part 10. The question that will expose your whole future. So here we are. Not at the end of a money lecture, at the edge of a decision. The next time more money comes into your life, something inside you is going to move fast. Faster than logic. Faster than planning. Faster than whatever financially mature speech you think you'll give yourself in the moment. That is why you need the question before the temptation arrives. Not, what can I upgrade? That is the lazy question. Not, what do I deserve? That is the dangerous question. Not even, can I afford it? Too weak. Ask the real question. What part of my future can I protect so well that I stop being easy to scare? That is the one. Because every new recurring expense is a future version of you being drafted into labor. Again, every new recurring expense is a future version of you being drafted into labor. If it is worth the draft, fine. Make the case. But do not let a temporary emotion sign a long-term contract on behalf of the person you are becoming. That person will live inside your habits. That person will inherit your fixed costs. That person will either bless you or resent you. And years from now, the people you love will not care that your life once looked upgraded. They will care whether there was room. Room for illness, room for layoffs, room for reinvention, room for mistakes, room for recovery, room to breathe. That is what money is for at its highest level. Not display, not ego decoration, not performance. Room. So when the raise comes, don't celebrate too early. Pause. Look at it. Interrogate it. Protect it. Then decide. Because if you don't tell your money where your freedom goes, your habits will tell it where your life goes. And habits are ruthless landlords.